Join ForumIAS Academy, trusted by hundreds of toppers, including IAS Rank 1 Shruti Sharma.
Hello friends, this is Vijay. Welcome to ForumIAS Hindu Daily. In our today's news analysis, we will be discussing the topics in the slide. The first topic is about the developments in the recently concluded 32nd Arab League Summit and the related India-Saudi Arabia relation. Then the second one is about the gantry and the NHRC. Then the third topic is about the India's ambitious plan to enhance its speed in the supercomputers. Then this is the fourth topic. Here the new parliament building, it is going to house the Sengol scepter. And this is the last topic. Here in Sri Lanka, the people who migrated from India during the British time, during the colonial period, those people were termed as a Malayaga Tamils. They have been demanding for some basic rights. And after discussing the topic, here we will be discussing the political and geographical map of Sri Lanka. So these are all the topics we are going to discuss today. Now without any delay, let us dive into the article number 1. This is the title of the article, A Middle Kingdom Dawns on India's West. So the author of the article is Mahesh Sachdev. So in the introduction part, he have been stating that in the past 12 years, he hadn't witnessed any Arab League summit which host all the 22 Arab state members. So this is what he have been stating here. So here he also states that there are some basic developments which happened in the Arab League summit. The first one, even though they attached to the pro-Palestine agenda, they refrained from mentioning the name Israel. So these are all the few basic developments the 32nd Arab League had witnessed. Apart from that, they also omitted the Iran related issues. Then they actually called for stopping the foreign interference in the domestic affairs of Arab countries. Because we all well know, all the Arab countries, they were bifurcated on the line of Shia and Sunni. So each of the members, they have been perpetrating or they have been supporting the proxies to disturb the political nature of the other country. So this is what it have been happening in the Middle East landscape. So in this Arab League summit, they all came together and they were committed for non-interference in other countries' foreign affairs. So this is what he have been discussing here. Then in the Saudi angle, he have been discussing some basic facts with respect to the Saudi. And you all well know, today the Saudi Arabian regime, it have been governed by Mohammed bin Salman. So the short name for Mohammed bin Salman is MBS. So he is popularly termed as a MBS. So after Mohammed bin Salman, he came to power. Right now he is a prince of Saudi Arabian government. In the future, he is going to be a king. So here, he have been taking various initiatives for the regional stability in the Middle East landscape. The first one, the relations with Iran were normalized, right? So with the mediation of China, the Saudi and Iran, they came to certain terms like that they won't perpetrate any war against each other. So these are all the commitments they had made under the mediation of China. Then here, you all well know that this mediation, it was happened because of China, and historically the Saudi Arabia was an ally of US, right? So but in these days, the China's influence have been rising in the Middle East landscape, and this brokerage, it was happened with the help of China. So this is what he have been discussing here, and it clearly shows that the Saudi Arabian regime, they had asserted their diplomatic autonomy. So these are the things it had been discussed here, and he also states that the Saudi Arabian regime is willing to cooperate with the other states in the region like Qatar, UAE and all. Okay, so here you should know one thing, the Sunni countries and the Shia countries, two groupings were there in the Middle East landscape. And let me show it in the image. So this is the countries which are in the Arab League. So these all countries are Sunni dominated countries. In Syria also, the people who are in Syria, majorly they are Sunni group. but the ruler Azad belongs to the Shia group. So that's what Iran had been supporting Azad during the conflict and all. And here in Yemen also, the Houthis you might know, right? So these Houthis actually they belong to the Shia group. That's what Iran extended its help to Houthis group to perpetrate the attack in Yemen region. And Saudi Arabia, historically, they are a Sunni dominated landscape. And with respect to the Arab League, almost all the members in the Arab League, they were predominantly Sunni people. And here he have been stating that the Saudi Arabia, the country, they are also ready to broker the deal between the regimes in Sudan. It have been witnessing lot of conflicts, right? So Saudi Arabia, it clearly stated that it want to mediate the partners of the issue and it want to restore the peace in the Sudan region also. And what are the Riyadh's advantage? Here he have been stating that traditionally the Arab regime, the Saudi Arabian regime, they are depending on oil trade. And these days, they witnessed that some 8.7% growth in their GDP to reach 1108 billion, almost twice that of the United Arab Emirates. So this is the growth they have been witnessing, like that he have been stating here. And from the oil alone, they fetch almost 228 billion, right? So this all happened in the volatile time of the oil market. We all well known after the Ukraine crisis, the oil market is highly volatile, but even in circumstances like this, the Saudi Arabia is capable of fetching 228 billion. And secondly, he have been stating that India, with respect to India, it is actually what India wants. Because whenever India stick with the Middle East partner, we need to think of other groupings and all. Example, if we are engaging with Israel means we need to think what Iran will think. Like that, we need to calibrate the things in such a way that it should not affect the other partners. This is how till today India have been engaging with their partners. But with these developments, we no need to think about what the other people will think because the regional stability is becoming crystallized and India is one of the huge beneficiary of these outcomes, right? So here he have been discussing about certain challenges what the Saudi Arabian regime have been facing. The first one, what the initiatives kingdom have been taking, it will require greater maturity and consistency to make the plans more effective. So this is the first challenge the Saudi Arabian regime have been facing. Then the second one, the initiatives what they have been taking, it may not become crystallized. So this is also one of the challenge in these plans and developments. Then the third one, he states that the kingdom's ties with the UAE and Qatar are always friction prone. So whatever the developments we are witnessing, it may not be there in the future like that he have been stating. Then lastly, he states that Saudi Arabia, it is internally highly stable. But the escalation of Mohammed bin Salman to king, it will attract some disruptiveness in the kingdom. So this is what he have been stating in the fourth challenge. And what is India's takes? As I already told you, the developments what we are witnessing in the Middle East is all of good for India because we no need to think of any other partners while taking any initiatives. So this is what it have been discussed here, and we need to wait and watch what are the developments it is going to happen there for the future developments. And always we should be ready to pursue the national interest with the partners in the Middle East. So this is what it have been discussed here. And apart from that, he also states that we need to enter into the strategic partnership with the Saudi Arabian regime for better advantages like that he have been discussing. Now with this note, let us move on to the next slide. And as I already told you, these are all the partners in the Arab League. Almost 22 partners are there. Kindly have a look on it. And what is Arab League? Arab League, it is also called a League of Arab States. It is an intergovernmental organization. It includes all the Arab countries in the region, especially of Middle East and the North Africa. So from these regions, the countries have been from Middle East and from North Africa. Almost all the Islamic countries, they are a part and parcel of Arab League. Then it was formed in the year of 1945 after the adoption of Alexandria Protocol of 1944. And they are having headquarters in Cairo, Egypt. So Arabic's headquarter is in Cairo. And with respect to India, Saudi Arabia, the first one we all well known that oil and gas trade. Saudi Arabia is the second largest supplier of oil and gas to India. The first one is Iraq. And from Saudi Arabia, we are importing 18% of our crude oil requirements and 22% of LPG requirements, liquid petroleum gas. Okay. So this is the amount we are importing from Saudi Arabia, and it cumulatively the value will come around some 36 billion US dollars. Okay. So 36 billion US dollars worth of import we are doing from the Saudi Arabia only in oil and gas. Then with respect to the bilateral trade, Saudi Arabia is India's fourth largest trading partner, and in the year of 2021 to 2022, the bilateral trade value was around 42.8 billion. So here India imports 38 billion dollars and we export around some 4 billion worth of materials. 4 billion worth of materials we exported to Saudi Arabia. Then the 2.6 million strong Indian community have been there in the Saudi Arabia, and they are engaging in various professionals. From there actually we are receiving the remittance of almost around some 18 billion. Okay. So 18 billion remittance we are receiving from the 2.6 million strong Indian community pursuing some professionals in Saudi Arabia. Then from the cultural aspect, we are having Hajj pilgrimage, which is the important component of the bilateral relation between India and Saudi Arabia, and almost all the Islamic people, they used to visit the Mecca and Medina during this Hajj pilgrimage. Then with respect to the naval and military participation, India and Saudi Arabia, they started their first naval joint exercise in the year of 2016, I think. The training name was Al-Muhad and Al-Hindi exercise. So this is the exercise. It was conducted between India and Saudi Arabia. So that's it, friends. Now let us dive on to the next article. And this is the second article. Global body keeps NHRC waiting over political meddling. Why global body keeps NHRC waiting? Because they stated that in the National Human Rights Commission, there are a lot of political interferences are there with respect to the appointments, and they have been violating certain basic tenets of the human rights, like that GANHRI have been stating. GANHRI, it is a UN recognized organization. GANHRI is the acronym for Global Alliance of National Human Rights Institution. So this is what GANHRI. And they cited that there is a lack of diversity in the staff and the leadership, and they are highly insufficient action to protect the marginalized groups. So this is what the GANHRI have been stating about the National Human Rights Commission. And they also states that they have been violating or undermining certain basic principles of the Paris Principles. What is Paris Principle? The Paris Principle, it actually set out some 6 main criteria for each and every human rights institutions. They mandate competence, and they also want the autonomy from the government institutions. Then the independence need to be there for each and every human rights institutions. There should be some independence for their activities and their promotions and all. Then there should be adequate resources to be allotted for each and every human rights institutions from the government wings. Then the government, they need to provide adequate powers of investigations. So these are all the 6 tenets of Paris Principles. And here, with respect to NHRC, they clearly stated that there is a lack of diversity in the appointment of Human Rights Commission members, right? And NHRC, we all well know, it came into existence through the Protection of Human Rights Act, which was passed by the Parliament in the year of 1993. Now let us discuss about some basic facts about the GANHRI and the NHRC. And GANHRI, it was established in the year of 1993, and it promotes the role of national human rights institutions worldwide. And in India, we are having a human rights watchdog, NHRC. Like that, each and every country's human rights organizations, they have been monitored by GANHRI. And it have been providing a forum for its members to interact and exchange the thoughts with respect to the human rights. And what are the functions they have been doing? It facilitates and supports the engagement of national human rights institutions, and it encourages the cooperation and information sharing between each and every national human rights institutions. Suppose let's say the human rights institution which have been operating in US, and they can share some basic informations and some certain secret informations to the institution which have been operating in India, especially with respect to the condition of the Indian prisoners in United States. Then the third one, it helps in the capacity development of each and every human rights institutions along with the help of Office of High Commissioner for Human Rights. Office of High Commissioner of Human Rights is a UN agency, and they are having motto to protect the human rights in each and every country. And GANHRI, they have been undertaking some accreditation process along with the standards from the Paris Principles, and they have been categorizing countries and their organizations into A, B and C. So A grade accreditation, B grade accreditation and C grade accreditation. So these are the three types of accreditation they are providing to each and every member country's human rights organizations. And in the A grade, the NHRC was there, but now they hadn't provided A grade accreditation to the NHRC, and they have been keep waiting the NHRC in that list. How they have been providing the A grade accreditation? If the country it is abiding by the Paris Principles and it have been taking the measures it is supposed to take in the front of human rights, means then the organization, the GANHRI, will provide A grade accreditation. And if it have been violating some non-core principles of the Paris principle, means then it will be provided with B grade status. And in the C grade, the members who are violating all the core and non-core principles of the Paris principles will be given the C grade accreditation. And the member who are in the A grade, they will be having the voting power for the GANHRI. And the B grade accreditation status members, they won't be provided with any voting power, and they will be acting as a mere observers. And the C grade, they won't be recognized as observers or voters in the GANHRI Internal Coordination Committee. Then the GANHRI, they have promotes the role of NHRIs with the UN organizations, and they have been promoting the role of national human rights institutions along with the states and other international agencies who are actually working on the front of human rights. So this is with respect to the GANHRI, and this is the Paris Principles. Actually, we have seen about the core principles of the Paris Principles, and they have given some 6 criteria, right? Here they have been given that according to the Paris Principles, the NHRI in each and every country, they are supposed to protect the human rights, include receiving, investigating and resolving the complaints, and they can do mediation with respect to the conflicts, and they can monitor the activities what it have been occurring in the ground. Like with respect to the receiving, investigation and resolving, the NHRC have been actively participating here, and we don't have any issues with the function of NHRC. But only with respect to the appointment of the NHRC members and chairman, it states that lot of political interferences are there, right? Then in the second point, the Paris Principles, it states that each and every NHRI, they need to promote the human rights through the way of education, outreach, training and capacity building. Okay. Now with respect to the NHRC, they states that in the appointment of NHRC members and chairman, there is a lot of political interference. How the political interference have been happening? In India, the members and chairman of NHRC have been appointed by a 6-member committee. Among that, the PM has its head, and the Speaker of Lok Sabha also will be there, and the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha will be there, then the Leader of Opposition in both houses, and along with the Union Home Minister. And here, we all well known, the Prime Minister and Union Home Minister will be having a massive power, and they have been paving the way for some interferences in the appointment and the terms what they are supposed to provide to the chairman and the members, right? So there comes the issue. This is what it have been mentioned by the GANHRI in its statement. Now with this note, let us move on to the next article. India is set to triple speed of its fastest supercomputers. So supercomputer, it is an array of systems. You can see in the image, it is a Pratyush system, and it is one of the most powerful civilian supercomputer in India, and it have been hosted in the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, Pune. So here, with respect to the supercomputer, India have been taking several ardent measures, and in the past actually imbibed the Pratyush and the Mihir systems. So cumulatively, they are providing some 6.8 petaflops of speed. Generally, with respect to the supercomputers, their speed will be measured in flops, floating point operations per second. So this is how the speed of the system will be measured. So petaflop, it refers a 1000 trillion flops. Okay, so the processing power will be measured in petaflops. With respect to India, we are measuring in petaflops, but with respect to the US, they are having exaflops. Okay, so let me discuss it later. And here they had stated that in the year of 2018, the government, the Indian government, they actually signed a deal with the French government for the procurement of some supercomputers from France. And here, the Pratyush and Mihir systems, they are cumulatively having a capacity of 6.8 petaflops. And if we procure the system from France means, then it will enhance the India's supercomputer speed to 18 petaflops. Okay, almost 3 times we are going to increase the speed of the supercomputer systems in India. So with this, we can bring better resolution in the weather forecasting, climate change and all. So this is what it have been discussed here. And right now we are having a resolution of 12 cross 12 kilometer. And once we inducted the system from France means the resolution will be in the range of 6 cross 6 kilometer. Okay, so there will be a better resolution once we inducted the system from France means. And the cost of the system what we are going to procure from France is 4,500 crore, and it seems that by 2025 we will be having a new system which is going to import from France. And here are some of the applications of the supercomputer. There are many application areas where to the use of supercomputers, such as the first one is about the biology areas. The supercomputer used to diagnose various diseases and provide the assistance for producing good results in stroke, brain injuries and other blood flow issues in your body. Apart from that, precision medicine, you might know. So in precision medicine also, the supercomputers they have been providing some inputs. Then with respect to the military and the defense missions, supercomputers are used in the testing of nuclear explosion and the weapon ballistics. Weapon ballistics means numerous weapons and all will be tested by each and every country. So their performance and all will be monitored with the help of supercomputer. Then the supercomputer systems, along with the integrated satellite systems, they can trace the nuclear explosion in other countries. If any country is carrying out any nuclear explosion means, then it can be traced by that country with the satellite input and the supercomputer systems. Because in the atmosphere, there will be a nuclear particles. So these stuffs and all will be traced by supercomputer systems. And with respect to the climate patterns, supercomputer application is able to study and understand climate patterns. And we can predict what will happen in the future, because we have been emitting lot of carbon into the environment, right? So we can actually design some protocols, or we can engineer something to vision what it will happen after 30 years or 40 years, like that. Then with respect to the airline industry, the supercomputers can be used for flight simulation. And apart from flight simulation, the testings, then the induction of the new technology and all can be calibrated with the help of the supercomputers. Then the air traffic also can be regulated with the help of supercomputers, because in air traffic they are very prone to human error. If any error is happening means, it will take a toll of some 300-400 lives, right? So that's what, in that condition, the inclusion of the supercomputer, it will provide some error-free air traffic systems. Then the weather forecasting. Here they had provided that to gather the information related to weather forecasting, and with respect to rain, then cyclone, then drought, these all stuffs and all can be monitored with the help of supercomputer. And I already told you, with the infusion of the system from France, the resolution will be brought to 6 cross 6 kilometer, right? So right now we are having the resolution of 12 cross 12 kilometer, and after the inclusion of the system from France, the resolution will be in the range of 6 kilometer into 6 kilometer. So there will be a better resolution. And the last one, scientific research areas. The supercomputer, we can use the supercomputer systems in molecular physics, right? Then nuclear research. So these all stuffs can be done with the help of supercomputer. Along with that, we can also use the supercomputer for exploring solar systems, then satellites which are rounding the earth, etc. and all. Then this is the last one, advanced database, which means data mining. Almost all the private entity, they are doing a data mining to know the consumption pattern of the people. So the supercomputer, they will process some millions of information within a fraction of second. So these entities can use the advantages of the supercomputer in their operational process. So that's it, guys. Now let us dive into the next article. And this is the fourth article, guys. This one, it came in the page number 1 and it came in the page number 11. Here you can see the Sengol scepter, and the Prime Minister Modi, he will install the Sengol scepter which was given by the British government to the India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru during the power transfer which happened in the year of 1947. So the same Sengol, it is going to be get installed in the new parliament building. And the Sengol, which is 5 feet long, and in the top of the Sengol, it was adorned by the Nandi. So Nandi, you all well know, it is a bull deity which is sacred in the Hinduism. So here, the concept, we should know the concept, right? So the Sengol, which was emerged when Lord Mountbatten asked Jawaharlal Nehru to choose a symbol to represent. So in that time, the Nehru sought the advice of Rajagopalachari. So he provided some inputs to Nehru. On the basis of that, the Sengol tradition, it came into existence in the year 1947. So in that time, Rajagopalachari, he sought some help from the Thiruvadurai Adinam. So it is one of the popular month in Tamil Nadu, and he provided, the Guru provided the Sengol to the Rajaji, and during the power transfer, so the Mountbatten, he actually transferred the Sengol to Sri Kumaraswamy Thambiran. Okay, so in the presence of Oduvar and saints, they actually recited some hymns from the Sanskrit, and they sprinkled holy water on the Sengol, and they transferred the Sengol to Jawaharlal Nehru. So this is how the power transfer happened in the midnight of August 14, 1947. And after taking the Sengol from Sri Kumaraswamy Thambiran, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he delivered the historic The Tryst with Destiny speech. So this is the tradition they followed in the year of 1947, and now in the new parliament building, they are going to install the Sengol. Sengol, it implies the transfer of power, and it symbolizes the power. So in the Tamil kingdoms, whenever the king, they transfer the power to the successor, there will be an order which is Aanai. Okay, so Aanai means order. This order will be consisting of certain provisions, how the king should rule the citizens of the country, and how should the fairness should be followed in the actions which are going to taken by the new king. Along with that, the Sengol will be handed over to the new king. So this is how the power transfer was happened in the Tamil kingdoms. Even the recent movie, you all well known, the Ponniyin Selvan, right? The PS1, PS2, it actually released, right? So in that you can see the Sengol concept. Okay. So now with this note, let us move on to the next article. Remember our history, recognize our labor. Say Sri Lanka's Malayaga Tamils. Who are these Malayaga Tamils? In Sri Lanka, we all well known, two ethnic groups are there. One is Tamil people and another one is the majoritarian Sinhalese community. And here in the map, it has been provided the region which have been inhabited by the Tamil and the Sinhalese people. Here this is the Tamil region, and here another one region is there. This is also a Tamil region. Generally, Tamil people are living in the northern and the eastern province of the Sri Lanka, and the remaining areas have been occupied by the Sinhala people. And this hilly region in the Sinhalese terrain, which have been inhabited by the Tamil people, these Tamil people, they are highly different from the ethnic Tamil people who are living in Sri Lanka. These Tamil people, they are indentured laborers during the British colonial time, and they were transported to Sri Lanka from India, especially from the Nilgiri district of Tamil Nadu. So they are Indian immigrants who are living in Tamil Nadu. So when independence was sanctioned to the Sri Lankan government in the year of 1948, they hadn't provided citizenship rights to these immigrants. They actually labeled their indentured labor, the indentured Tamil labor, as immigrants. So they hadn't provided citizenship till 2003. In the year of 2003, they had provided some rights, and this is what it have been given here. In the year of 2003, they had provided some citizenship rights to the people belongs to the Indian origin Tamils. But even today, most of the Tamil Indian origin Tamils, they don't have citizenship rights in the Sri Lanka. And here, at the time of Sri Lanka's independence, the Indian origin Tamils were around some 8 lakhs. Then some agreement were happened between the Indian government and the Sri Lankan government. So part of the Indian origin Tamils, they were taken back to India with the help of the Indian government, and part of the Tamil Indian origin Tamil people, they actually got some citizenship rights in the Sri Lankan government, Sri Lankan regime. And this is what it happened. And till today, they are actually treated as the second grade citizens of the Sri Lanka. So that's what the people have been raising their voices for their rights in the Sri Lanka. And these Malayaga Tamil, you should know, they are not ethnic Tamil people who are living in Sri Lanka. They are actually Indian origin people, and they were actually migrated to Sri Lanka during the colonial regime as an indentured labor. And with respect to the map, we should know some basic spots in Sri Lanka. The first one is Jaffna Peninsula. It is here. It is in the eastern province of Sri Lanka. And here in this portion, another one location is there, which is named as Elephant Pass. Okay. This is a strategical point, and UPSC had asked a question on Elephant Pass in the year of 2009. Then Triconamalai. This is one of the port city in Sri Lanka, and the people who are controlling the Triconamalai, they can control the vast area of Indian Ocean region. So the power struggle all happening in the Indian Ocean region is only for the Triconamalai port. Then Batigola is another one important region, and this is in the eastern province of Sri Lanka, and this region is also inhabited by the Tamil people. And the next one is Hambantota. Hambantota, you all well known. Recently, China had acquired a deal in Hambantota for the establishment of berth in the Hambantota port, and it is strategically significant only because of the Chinese presence. And Colombo is the capital city in the Sri Lanka, and Colombo, it is actually a cosmopolitan city. Majority of the people in the Colombo are Sinhalese, but Tamil people are also living there. And Mannar region, this is in the northern province, and Mannar region is highly significant because it is in the vicinity of India. And these are all the few places you should know. Apart from that, Kala river and Yan river are two important rivers in the Sri Lanka. And this Kandi, it have been falling in the hill region of the Tamil people. Okay, so this region which have been inhabited by the Tamil people, and Kandi is the virtual capital of the Indian origin Tamils. Now with this note, let us move on to the question part. Which of the following factors or policies were affecting the price of rice in India in the recent past? The first one, minimum support price. Then the second one is government's trading. Then the third one, stockpiling. Then the fourth one, consumer subsidies. All these four factors have been influencing the demand and supply in the market. So these all four factors have been influencing the price of rice in India. Therefore, answer option D is the right one for question number 1. With reference to the foreign direct investment in India, which of the following is considered its major characteristics? So the key term is major characteristics. The first one, it is the investment through capital instruments, essentially in a listed company. Then the second one, it is largely a non-debt creating capital flow. This is the true statement. And the third one, it is the investment which involves debt servicing. This is false. It is not the character of FDI. Then the last one is, it is the investment made by foreign institutional investors in the government securities. This is also not the characteristics of the FDI. FDI is a non-debt creating capital flow. In some occasions, it will come along with the tech transfer also. So in the recent MOUs and the deals and all, Indian government have been asking for the tech transfer along with the FDI. And in the year of 2020, the FDI to India was almost 64 billion US dollars. 2020, okay. In 2021, the FDI to India was in the range of 51 billion. And in the year of 2022, it was in the range of 53.5 billion US dollars. Anyway, we hadn't crossed the 64 billion mark what we had achieved in the year of 2020. And this is the third question. The Global Competitiveness Report is published by which of the following organizations? The first one is International Monetary Fund. They are actually publishing the Global Financial Stability Report. Okay. Then the second one, UNCTAD. They are publishing the report on trade and development. And the third one is World Economic Forum. They are the one who are publishing the Global Competitiveness Report. Apart from that, they are also publishing the Global Gender Inequality Report also. Then the World Bank, we all well know, they are publishing the Ease of Doing Business report. So World Bank is not the answer. Answer option C is the right one for the question number 3. Now with this note, let us wind up our today's discussion, friends. Let me catch you in another discussion tomorrow. Thank you for your patience. Bye.